Hello, everybody. Welcome to Premier League predictions for round 32. Mikey, I think I'm going to throw the towel in after last week. It felt decisive in the Premier League at the bottom, and you had a 12-2 win. I didn't need that because I'd had a good win the week before, catching up a little bit. Well done, mate. To be fair, 3 bob-ons out of the first 4 results. You absolutely killed me on that one. 1-1 Everton, Arsenal, 2-1 Palace and Brighton, and 2-2. That's a great shout, Desmond, on West Ham and Bournemouth. Means you are... The bad news is you're 16-8 up on the weekly, which does mean it is already all over. But I'm only 17 behind in the aggregate. Welcome and F off.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, that does soften the blow somewhat of watching Ipswich pretty much get relegated against Wolves last week. And my Sunday League team, I mentioned we had a big game to win the league a few weeks ago. We lost that, and then we lost the following game as well to put promotion in jeopardy. But we did get promoted in absence. So in some ways, a successful weekend for me last week, Ben.
The real quiz. Get involved in the comments with your own predictions on round 32 in the Premier League. Give yourself 1 point for a correct outcome, 3 points for a bob on if you get the correct score line. Give yourself 4 points. It's a bonus. I think I might throw a few in for just what's in giggles today. 4 points is a bonus if your correct score has 5 or more goals. Mikey, as ever, you are up first. And in the early on Saturday, it is Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. We need Andros Townsend to score from 40 yards.
Yeah, that's happened before, isn't it? I think that was 2018-19. And Conor Gallagher scored a winning goal for Palace at the Etihad a few years ago. They've actually got quite a good record there. They've only lost 2 of their last 6 at the Etihad, which is decent going when you think about the teams that they've been up against in those games over the years. Like this is probably going to be the easiest one since the Georgia Samaras years, although I think that predates Palace being in the Premier League. I think it's best summed up this fixture with one club who just want this season to be over and out of the way, and one who doesn't want it to finish. Palace, since about November, have just been exceptional. City, on the other hand, their 0-0 draw at Old Trafford was so flat. Omar Marmoush, a bit of a bright spot though. He was lively. He looks like a really good signing. City start the weekend 6th, so they're even with that extra Champions League place that the English teams are going to get. They're on the outside of it. Their May fixtures are good, but after this, they travel to Everton and then play Villa at home. So a difficult April for them. Palace are missing Eddie Nketiah and Mark Gay after they were both sent off in that enthralling derby between Crystal Palace and Brighton. They'll get chances in this one. I think they've got players to hurt Man City here. I can't quite go for them to win. So I'm going to kick off with a Desmond. I always seem to start with a 1-1 because I'm just very unsure of myself at the start. So I'm going to go for 2-2 in this one.
Well, I must be unsure of myself because I've got 1-1 written down here. I did have Palace getting something for all the reasons you've laid out. We obviously say this with the caveat that literally any week, any game, Man City could just win 5-0. And,
as we found out.
Yeah, the world is turning on its axis correctly again. But yeah, I like your logic there, and I'll go for the 1-1. Leicester. So it's Brighton versus Leicester, and at the moment we have to predict Leicester to lose and put a 0. I haven't even scored in. Let me just bring this up so I get the right number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defeats. 8 in the Premier League, in fact, in a row without scoring. That is atrocious form for Leicester, Mikey. So I've got to go for exactly the same. And basically my choice is it going to be 2-0 or is it going to be 3-0? It was 3-0 last week. It was 2-0 the week before. It was 3-0 the week before. So I'll go 2-0 on this one by weird process. And please, Leicester, score a goal for your long-suffering fans.
Yeah, okay. So you've taken the 2-0. That's a scribble for me. So yeah, I will go for Brighton 3, Leicester 1. Brighton's season is in danger of ending with a whimper, but Europa League's still not out of the question. They could go into the top 8 by winning this one. Jeremy Monga is one positive for Leicester, only 15 years old, Ben, which in my opinion is an age to be a mascot rather than a player. I had a quick look at when he was born the other day, Ben, and he was born in the week that I was on my first ever lads holiday in Zante. and Cascader Evacuate the Dance Floor was number 1 in the UK charts.
Am I supposed to guess what year it was? It was 15 years ago. It's 2010, isn't it?
2009.
2009, there you go.
Yeah. Quick math. I must have got that wrong then.
Am I getting a prediction anyway? Have you already given it to me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I said
you did.
I'd
You
go
said
for
3-1, didn't
Brighton
you?
3, Leicester 1.
Yeah, and I go, well, no, he could be 15 years old, and his birthday could still be in the remainder of this year. So yeah, it would. I think your math holds up. Are Nottingham Forest going to hold up, Mikey? They play Everton. Defeat last time out against Villa. Are they going to hold up in the top 3?
Yeah, I think they will, but it's possibly going to get a little bit nervy in the next few weeks. Forest, basically, they have what Everton want, don't they? Which is an overperforming team that they can really get behind. Just not always pretty, but lots of blood and thunder football at times. Everton are draw specialists under David Moyes, which has been more than good enough to see them pull away from any relegation danger. Draws, they might be okay for Forest. Just avoiding defeat might, in most games, should be enough for them. Chris Wood should be back, but I think Forest will be circling this one as one to win. But I fancy them to go back to what they were doing at the start of the season, which is eke out a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, Everton draw a lot, don't they? I do like Forest to win this one, and I've had a few bob-ons with Forest winning at home to 0. Feels very low margin with these two managers, doesn't it? So I will. When did Forest last lose at home, Mike? It doesn't happen very often, does it? Newcastle. God, it hasn't happened for ages, has it? Is it Newcastle in November by the look of it? So they ain't losing according to that logic. I'll take the 1-0 Forest. Feels fairly likely in what's certain to be a low margin game. Southampton play Aston Villa. They are officially relegated. By the way, I saw Prince William in my YouTube feed doing some punditry with Ali McCoist, and it was really rather good, actually. There's one for all you royalists or, to be fair, football fans.
Yeah, my mum watches this, so she'll enjoy that bit, Ben.
There you go. So Villa just went to, hence Prince William, Villa went to PSG, didn't they? And that is going to have tired them out. And this game is still on Saturday, isn't it? Is there a chance for Southampton to steal a point here? No, they're dreadful. Bless them. And without manager as well. I don't know who's taking the team even.
Adam Lallana job share with Simon Rusk, who was the under-21s manager.
Oh, Simon Rusk has done it already this season, hasn't he? Sorry, Saints fans. 2-0 Villa. Boring.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Villa, Ben. We mentioned the European exploits, but they've got such a strong squad. They had Onana, Asensio, Ollie Watkins, Tyrone Mings on the bench. Like, all of these could start in this one. Just more than enough strength and depth to just bounce back from. I guess it was only really disappointment that they conceded that injury time goal, because 2-1 would have been a bad result for Villa. But yeah, I'm going for them to have the same scoreline, but in their favour at St Mary's. Speaking
of Champions League heroics, Arsenal versus Brentford.
Yeah, what a night for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta's football at its very best, and a big game performance from Arsenal. And to be fair, over the last couple of years, they've fallen short ultimately in their quest for league and cups, but they've in big games they have turned up in most of them at the Emirates and been really good. And yeah, Declan Rice, what can you say about those 2 free kicks? Absolutely incredible. They will rotate here, but they've got, like Villa, they've got plenty of good players in reserve. Raheem Sterling and Ranieri will be trying to book a place in the team or at least get on the pitch at the Bernabeu. Ben White will probably come back in as well. He'll be looking to try and get back in this Arsenal team, especially with Gabriel missing. Brentford still eyeing a top half finish, which would be awesome for them. They've won 2 of their last 2 London derbies away. I think this one will be a bridge too far, but it'll be a tight game. I can see Vista scoring, but I'm going to go for Arsenal to win 2-1.
You realise that Champions League game will probably go to extra time knowing Real Madrid, won't it? So
almost
I don't know. If anyone was watching the game, did Rice get another free kick? Did he get the chance to go for the hat-trick ball? I remember Mihailovic doing that for Lazio on Football Italia once, banging 3 of them in the top corner. I think Brentford are going to draw. I've just got this weird feeling that it's after the Lord Mayor's show and everyone's going to think, oh, we're going to win the Champions League. Screw the Premier League now. It's all over. They take their eye off the ball. So I'm going to shave off one Arsenal goal from your prediction, Mikey, and go for this one to be 1-1. And it is Chelsea versus Ipswich. Decisive defeat. There's been a few, hasn't there, for our team, Mikey, last week. It's a 12-point gap. So I think all bets are off now. So I hope it kills you, isn't it? Can they get anything at Chelsea? Probably not. So I'm very disappointed to say it's the Liam Delap farewell, raise as much money for me as possible tour. Let's give him a goal. But I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea, and sorry, Ipswich fans.
Yeah, I'm going for a narrow Chelsea win. I asked a colleague of mine, Danny, who goes to a lot of Chelsea games, how do you see this one playing out after being in Europe during the week? And he's backed them to win, but he said it will be one of those really boring wins where everyone turns up expecting to win and then it's really narrow. So that's why I'm going with 1-0. Incidentally, Ben, the last time Ipswich won a league game at Stamford Bridge was 1979. So that's 30 years before young Monga was even born. Bright Eyes by Art Garfunkel was number one. Do you know that one?
Is it a kind of a dream? I sing that so beautiful. Written by Mike Batt. Very dark. It's the what's that film with the dogs and the foxes? Watership Down. Yeah.
Classic. Oh, okay.
Million seller, I think.
Yeah. Do you think it's a better record than Evacuate the Dance Floor by Cascada?
I'm going out on a limb here. I do think it's a better record than Evacuate the Dance Floor by
one thing we haven't said,
Cascada.
though, Ben, let's do a little bit more on Ipswich. Chelsea did lose this fixture at Portman Road, didn't they, in December? That was Ipswich's best home performance of the season. But unfortunately, there's no Disassi for Delap to bully this time. He's at Aston Villa now. So, yeah, narrow Chelsea win here.
And please, in the comments, if you do think Cascada is better than Art Garfunkel, all opinions allowed here. Well, we got caught out by Liverpool last time, didn't we? Well done, Fulham. Liverpool versus West Ham.
Yeah, could Premier League defeats be like London buses against London opposition for Liverpool, Ben? I'm going to say no is the answer. A home game in the sunshine, perfect time to get back on track and just edge nearer to the Premier League title. They'll start to look at when they're going to win the league and where they're going to win the league now, won't they? Hammers were decent in the second half against Bournemouth. Nicholas Füllkrug scored the sort of goal that West Ham fans were hoping he'd score all season. But there's more questions than answers at the moment for Graham Potter's West Ham. In the absence of any obvious bonus point predictions this week, I've gone for Liverpool 4, West Ham 1.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking. The answer to your question is they actually play Arsenal at Anfield with like 3 rounds to go. So that would be the one. If they drew or win it, that would take the opportunity away from Arsenal. I think it would have to be over 9 points going into that.
And that would be for Liverpool fans of a certain vintage, Ben. That would be the perfect way to win the league at Anfield, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. Considering 1989. I'll go 2-0. I do think there is difficulty when you're so far ahead, keeping the intensity up, especially when you went on such a stupendous undefeated run, which has only just finished. So I'll take it as 2-0, and we'll throw it out there that they'll win the league either by drawing against Arsenal or beating Arsenal in what would it be, round 36, I think, if I'm correct on that one. Wolves versus Spurs, and lots of Ipswich fans were telling me last week on the Blue Monday podcast that Wolves are going to catch up with West Ham and Everton and Spurs, and this would be a good start for them to do it. Is Cunha back for this one, Mikey?
I think he is, yeah.
I'll back Wolves then. Wolves had a brilliant midfielder called Gomez as well, didn't they? So 3 wins on the bounce. We'll go both teams to score. I'll go 2-1 to the Wolves.
That's a scribble that was probably unlikely at the start of the season, Ben.
About 2 weeks ago, that was unlikely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't go for the same as you, can I? Even though I really think this is 2-1. I'll have to go 3-1 Wolves. so impressive in the second half against Ipswich. Menetzi, I'm going to have to give him a shout out again. I mentioned him last week, Ben, as somebody who's really stepped up since signing for them. Where's number 5? But
ridiculous.
I'm not even sure I know what position he is. He's absolutely everywhere for them. And Strand Larsen just cut the figure of a centre forward who's just full of confidence. And Cunha's back. And for the first time in quite a long time, Ben, Molineux is just full of confidence and positivity. They're really getting behind the manager now. They're really buying into Vitor Pereira.
So
obviously, they're still unhappy about a lot of things that are going on off the pitch. But I think this will probably be the most positive Molineux atmosphere that there's been for some time. And all football fans in this country know that Molineux can be a really difficult place to play when the fans are behind them. Yeah. Spurs have that tough game against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League. That's tonight, recording on Thursday. Yeah, I can't see them going to Wolves and winning.
I'm going to mention Philippe Albert before I even say the fixture. It's Newcastle versus Man United.
Newcastle, Manchester United. I haven't written notes down for this inexplicably, Ben, but I don't think I need them. Newcastle
home win.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the home win. I'm not going to go for 5-0 though. I'm going to take the 2-1 that you took for Wolves. Manchester United have shown sort of glimpses of improvement in recent weeks, and they've become harder to beat for sure. But Newcastle at full throttle, going for top 5. Isak, Murphy, Barnes, just naming players now. Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton. I think it's a much stronger team than the Manchester United
school of punditry.
Absolutely. I'll be chucking you an invoice for $2,000 after this one as well, Ben. I'm going for Newcastle to win this one 2-1.
I met Ray Parlour in a motorway services on the North Sector. I can't remember which one. It was very charming, actually.
So I've been lucky to interview Ray Parlour a couple of times, and he's a fantastic bloke. Loves to chat about continental lager. Surprise, surprise.
There you go. Sorry, what was your prediction, Mikey? My bad. I was thinking about Ray
I went
Parlour.
Newcastle 2, Manchester United 1.
Newcastle 2, Man United 1. I was just looking for a clue on Man United. There's a lot of 0s and 1s, Mikey. They're not scoring regularly. Ironically, with Rashford doing that in the last few weeks for Villa. I might go for a tight home win then, Mikey. I know you've gone for a tight margin, but I'll go for a clean sheet as well for the black and whites. I'll go 1-0 Newcastle. Bournemouth versus Fulham. So, by way of apology for Fulham for missing that last week, do we need to go for a Fulham? And why Bournemouth so bad at the moment as well? They even lost at home to Ipswich. Can you imagine being foolhardy enough to do that? We've loved Bournemouth all season, but I think I got back Fulham after the win last week against Liverpool. Full of confidence. Both teams. I'll play for bonus point as well. I'll go 2-3. Bournemouth 2, Fulham 3.
Nice. I'm going to go for Bournemouth to get back on track with a 2-1 win. These two clubs, plenty to admire about both of them, the way they've played this season, but they're both potentially in danger of falling short of expectations from the midway point. But yeah, Bournemouth, that long winless run has got to come to an end at some point. And yeah, I fancy them in this one. Fulham, though, they seem to win one and lose one, which might be enough to get them where they need to be. Evan Nilsson scoring for fun, which is why I'm going for Bournemouth to win narrowly.
Brilliant stuff. Those are your 10 predictions for round 32. Get in the comments. You can copy and paste from the description there, all of the fixtures. Get your predictions in. 1 point if you get the correct outcome. 3 points for a correct scoreline. Give yourself a bonus. We've got a couple here. If your game has 5 or more goals in it. Mikey's gone 4-1, Liverpool, West Ham, and I've just gone Bournemouth 2, Fulham 3. And we will see you. Probably going to be a bumper, super duper, double header Easter weekend, mega ultra preview if I can set that up as best as possible. I should have mentioned Bournemouth Fulham is on Monday night as well, so you'll have to wait for that one. We'll see you probably middle of next week where we will... we don't need to go hyper. It's only EFL that does both ends. There we go. I mean, it'll be a brilliant preview show. It just won't be a super duper bumper double bubble. I'm doing that on the EFL side of it. I need to get my head ready for the Easter weekend. So with that being said, I'll end this recording now and go and sit in a dark room.